welcome to another episode of Jack's Tech Corner. I'm your host Jack, and this is another Photoshop Elements video tutorial. First, I'd like to throw out my little intro there to pick up a copy of the DVD. If you like what you see, I think you're going to love the DVD. No, matter of fact, I know you're going to love the DVD. It's only $15, and there's 46 great high-resolution videos on there, a lot better than what you can see on YouTube. These videos are of high quality. You can stop and pause these videos whenever you want, and it gives you a great way to learn Photoshop Elements. So if you're enjoying this tutorial that you're watching right now, stop by my website, jackstechcorner.com, and pick up a copy of the DVD. I'm sure you'll be very happy with it. Also, a word from our sponsor is Green Screen Wizard. Now, if you do any green screen photography, and if you look through my videos on my YouTube channel, you'll find that I've done a couple videos using Green Screen Wizard. And what it allows you to do is chroma key, or key out the green, or blue screen. If you would have blue, you can also use a little click of the mouse, and it'll get rid of the blue screen. So check out Ken's program. He has a standalone program as well as a Photoshop plugin. The plugin works in Photoshop Elements as well as CS3 and CS4. So it works very well. It's greenscreenwizard.com. Check out my website, jackstechcorner.com, and you'll find links to everything right there. Now, for this tutorial today, I thought I would start off by explaining a little bit about the desktop area of the computer. And what we're going to do is we're going to create our custom desktop wallpaper. You know, you can find a lot of wallpapers online, but sometimes the screen resolutions are not high enough or great enough to really make it look nice on your desktop. So what we're going to do first of all is explain to you that this area right here that you see, this river on my screen, is your desktop wallpaper. It's not your screensaver. I hear so many times that, hi, I got a picture of Joe and he's my screensaver. Folks, the screensaver is the little Windows thing that comes on your screen that floats around your screen, or what have you. Any kind of little movement on your screen when the screen goes to sleep, or when the computer takes a rest, or whatever you set that time for. But this, the picture you look at all the time on your screen, is the desktop wallpaper. We first need to know, how big is this area? What is the resolution of our screen? A lot of you may know this already. Some of the older monitors would do an 800 by 600 resolution. Some of the newer CRT monitors would do 1024 by 768. But these LCD monitors have some really great resolution. The higher the resolution, what happens is, the higher the number, the smaller your icons become, and the larger area you have to work on things such as editing pictures. Now, to find out what your screen resolution is, just simply right click on your desktop, go down to Properties, and then let's click on Settings. And right here you can see that our screen resolution is 1280 by 1024 pixels. Remember pixels, folks, that's very important for this video tutorial. I want you to write down the number you see here exactly as you see it. Excuse me, 1280 by 1024. Now, we're going to go ahead and open up our Photoshop editor, or Photoshop Elements editor. So let me go ahead and bring up my editor. Here is the editor. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start designing our desktop wallpaper. So the first thing we need to do is go to File, New, Blank File. And we're going to call this Desktop. That's a nice name for it. Now I have mine set up already as 1280 by 1024, because if you remember, that's what was on my settings for my resolution. Now, if yours is different, you just change this. Say yours is 1024 by 768. That would be your screen resolution. But as I said, mine is 1280 by 1024. The background contents, you can have this white background color transparent. I always say to leave it transparent, so that way we have just a blank document that we're going to start working on, or a blank file. Click OK. This is our blank file. Let's go to View, Fit the Screen, and we can begin working on this file ourselves. The first thing we want to do is, I like to create a border where my icons are going to be sitting. So to do this, I will use the rectangular marquee tool. And I'm just going to come up in here, and I'm just going to draw a left mouse clicking and just pulling down to this corner here, and that looks pretty good. And this is just, again, it's just a judgment call. It's just by eye, you know. You looked at your desktop, you figure out where your icons are, and you can always move your icons into this area once you get this completed. Once you have that marquee tool done, what you have is you have a selection in the middle. But let's go to Select, Invert. Now what you want to do is you want to fill this with some kind of color. You can use a solid color. You can always go to solid color and pick out some kind of color you might want to use for the outside border. You can do paint bucket, and you can just paint that. Or, excuse me, I like to kind of dress it up a little bit. So let's go to Edit and just undo that. What I'm going to use is a gradient. Click on your gradients, click the little pull down menu, and you can see the different gradient styles you have. I'm just going to choose this one. And these are just different ways we can lay out our gradient. You can play with these and see what effect you really like the best. Let's just go, we'll go with this one. And all you do then is left click and just drag your mouse and just pull a line. You can go this way, or you can go this way, whichever way you want to go. And as you see, that's going to fill that with our gradient color. Now that we have that, let's go to Select, Deselect. Now let's go ahead and duplicate that layer. Do a Control J, or on your Mac, remember, do a Command J. Now we want to work with this inside a little bit. So let's grab that same marquee tool again, and we're going to fill this again right here. So let's bring this down and leave it go. Now this time I'm going to go ahead and fill this with a solid color. So I'm just going to grab the paint bucket tool. Well, first go down here on your foreground color, click on it, and decide what you want it. And what we're making here actually is going to be a frame around the center. So you can play with these colors and see what you want. Let's make it a deep red. Grab your paint bucket tool and paint it. There we go. Now it's painted. Now at this point, what I would like you to do is go up to Select, Deselect. Now let's go back to that marquee tool again. And we're going to go right about there, and what we're going to do is we're going to actually build a little frame. Let's just do that. Once you have that selected, hit your Delete key. And as you can see, what we did, we just cut that out, and we made a little frame around there. Alright, it's looking pretty good so far. Now we can go ahead, if you want, you can duplicate that background again. Oops. Let's first go to Select, Deselect, and we're going to duplicate this. And we can turn that bottom layer off right now. We don't need it. Now what you want to do is you want to fill this. This will be the actual placeholder of whatever we're putting on here. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw some pictures on here and see what it looks like. So this placeholder, let's go down and grab another color. I like a neutral color for my placeholder where my pictures are going to be. So I pick a gray color, and I'm going to paint this. Now we have it multi-layers there. It's different. It's framed. We have the icon area around here, and then we have the place in the center where we can drop some pictures. With that all done, let's go to our organizer and grab some pictures. I'm going to grab this the kid here holding a pumpkin. Grab a picture of the cat. And let's see here. We'll grab a picture of this pumpkin. And all I did, folks, I held the Control key down when I clicked around here and grabbed out some different pictures. Then just, you want to right click, to get to your submenu, and then left click on Full Edit. These pictures will now open up. Once these opened up, now we can actually minimize this stuff, and we can just start with the first picture. Just go to Select All. Then what I like to do is, with the Move tool, I can actually change the size of this. I like to do these right in here. And a lot of times I do this even if I'm doing green screen work. Click the little checkbox, and then we're just going to drag this onto our new little placeholder. And again, you might have to resize it here, but if you drag that whole picture, and it's really hard, you have to, kind of scale around the picture. We're going to just flip this a little bit, and we'll just stick it somewhere on a desk here. And as you can see, it creates a new layer. We threw that picture in there and it made a new layer. Now, let's go ahead and grab the pumpkin. We're going to restore it. I just right clicked on there, go to Restore. Same thing, select all. Again, let's resize this one. Click the checkbox. Sometimes you'll get hung up there. If you are trying to move that and that checkbox is not checked, it won't move. You'll get an error. Oops. Let's move this down a little bit. And all I'm doing, I'm just grabbing those handles. And if you can see up here when you grab those, it says Constrain Proportions. Now if that is not checked, you can also hold your Shift key down, but what happens is you can actually squish that pumpkin. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Let's click on this. Now we're going to click here again, make sure it says Constrain. Because this way I can't pull it up and down, because it's going to stay, the picture is going to actually stay in proportion. Let's rotate a little bit, give it that little weird look. You can make this a little bigger if you want to overlap the other one a little bit. Click the little checkbox. And the last one is the cat. Let's restore the cat. Let's select him. Let's pull him down a little bit. Click your checkbox. And let's pull him over onto the picture. See, he's a little big yet. Let's pull him down. Let's pull him down some more. Let's get this last effect in here. And we'll just leave him straight on there. Okay. Now that that's all done, what we want to do now is we want to add a little bit of effect to these pictures because they look flat. And I'm sure you'll tell me that they look very flat sitting on there. Just going to pull it down so it's inside the gray. With the first one selected, what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to our effects and our layer styles. We're going to choose bevels. We're going to throw a bevel on there just to kind of pick that picture up a little bit. Click Apply. There's the bevel. Let's do the next one. Click Apply. Once you have it set up, all you got to do is click Apply. There you go. Now they all have a nice bevel on them, but they still look a little flat. Here's a little trick. Let's double click on the layer styles here on the little FX, and let's throw a drop shadow in. You just drop the shadow a little bit. You don't want to make it too deep. Click OK. Let's grab the next one. Same thing, double click that. Throw a drop shadow in there. There you go. Click OK. Let's click on the last one. Double click it. Drop shadow. That's that one. We have to go down here yet. Double click this one and throw your drop shadow in. There you go. Click on that bottom layer so you can have a look. Now you can see they're all like framed. Looks like a little wood frame or a wraparound frame. So it looks really nice. And they all have a little drop shadow so they're picked up off there a little bit. Our last step is to save that. Let's go to File. We're going to go Save As. I'm going to save it on the desktop, but you can save it anywhere on your computer you wish. If you want to put this in My Pictures, as long as you know where it's at so you can find it so we can load it onto the desktop. Change that into a JPEG file, and we're going to call it Desktop. Click on the Save. I always leave this at maximum and the quality at 12. Large file size. Now let's minimize this all the way and let's see what it looks like. Let's get rid of the organizer. Here's our picture of our river. Let's right click. Let's go to Properties. Now let's change this. Go to Desktop and Browse. Now I put mine on the desktop itself, so I can choose that. And it is called Desktop JPEG. You'll get a preview of it here. You don't have to stretch it or anything. You can actually just center it because it's the same resolution, so you don't have to stretch anything. Click Apply and then click OK. And there you have it. You can see the icons around the outside made it pretty much in the green. Over here we're a little bit off, but you can rearrange your icons, or you can go back and do some editing and actually make another one maybe and come over here a little further if you want to get all those icons in there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial on creating a custom desktop wallpaper. You know what, this Photoshop Elements has so much you can do with it, and it's just a nice way to play around. This way you just customize your computer using a photo editing program. So it's very, very powerful. So until next time, folks, keep those shutters clicking. Keep the editors editing. Don't forget to rate and comment on all my videos. Make sure you send comments in. Email me at jackstechcorner@gmail.com if you have any questions, and stop by the web forums. Till next time, take care. I'll see you back here soon. Bye for now.